Most of my conspiracy theories so far have been about the people on our planet and what's going outside of our planet. So let's look at some that are about the planet itself and what's going on here. The biggest theory about the Earth is the flat Earth theory. Basically, people who believe the Earth is flat and not round. This is definitely one of the biggest conspiracy theories, at least that I've heard of. They have their own website, theflatearthsociety.org. This website is great. I love it. On this website, you can find ways to become a member of the Flat Earth Society. You can either become an associate member, which is free, just send them a postcard, or you can become a friend of the Flat Earth Society by sending them $12. They have a section about frequently asked questions, and the first question they have on this page is, "Are you serious?" And the answer is yes. We have a lot of dumb questions up here, like what are the evidence you have? Why don't you believe it? Why does the map look like that? And they say, if you don't believe us, go look at our library. Their desolate desert of a library. This isn't really a library, this is more of a museum because everything on here is super old. Some of their claims that I've seen on their website is there's no curvature of the Earth because you can't see it from a commercial flight. Why don't you go a little higher there, Einstein? Another thing they don't believe in is gravity because, quote, objects simply fall. That's what gravity is. Oh my god. And the forums. Oh, don't get me started on the forums, dude. They're beautiful. They've got discussions on One Piece. Someone was hating on Hamilton. They've even made music about the flat earth and other conspiracy theories, which I wish I found this earlier, because this is gold.
Shop, cause there ain't no photographs about somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a code, no none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? He was goddamn right.
You may be wondering why the Flat Earth Society thinks that NASA's lying about the Earth being round. So here are some of their reasonings. They think NASA just wanted government money and the funding so they could just have it to themselves instead of going to the moon, because that wasn't real either. They say there's no way we could have lifted a rocket off the flat Earth to get to the moon, so there's no way it happened. They think they're hiding the truth about what was in the Bible. I knew that Tomato from VeggieTale was right. The Earth is flat. I knew it. I talked about this story last time when I talked about flat Earths, but the story of the group of flat earthers who spent $20,000 to prove that the Earth was flat in experiments, just to prove that it was round, is the funniest form of irony I've ever seen. Another theory about the Earth is that it's hollow, and there's little holes in the North and South Pole, and there's little creatures inside. There's no website about Hollow Earth. I wish there was, so I could see what dumb people are. What's inside of this hollow space depends on your region and religion. If you're Christian, people think there's hell in there. If you're Greek, you think it's the underworld, and if you're Nordic, you think it's that. I'm not saying that. The idea of a hollow Earth came from a sci-fi fantasy book about the Earth being hollow, and stupid people didn't see the sci-fi sticker on it and went, "Oh my god, it's real!" One particular stupid person was John Cletus Symes Jr. from the early 1800s. He's kind of known for starting this whole theory and saying it's real. Nowadays, people that still believe it think it's where aliens and UFOs go to hide. So it's just a big UFO parking lot. Even though no one's seen these holes and they've gone to the poles and never seen them, they don't believe it. Going off of the hollow Earth is the hollow moon. They think if aliens don't live here, they gotta live in the moon. One of the supporting claims behind this theory is that whenever the moon had a moonquake, which is basically just an earthquake up there, I didn't know that was a thing, it would ring like a bell. So maybe it's just a big Taco Bell up there. They also say it's not a coincidence how solar eclipses works so perfectly with the sun being 100% covered. Although it's not true, it's not 100%, and you see this in Saturn, some of its moons, I'm sure you see it everywhere. We also know that the moon is less dense than the Earth, so it could float. So it's just a big beach ball. It's hollow inside with a bunch of aliens in there, hotboxing it up. Going into outer space for a sec, there's also a belief of Planet X. No, not Planet Twitter. Planet X. That there's a secret planet out there that NASA's been hiding. It started from a news. It started when a satellite claimed to observe a planet that was as big as Jupiter, with a big gas giant out there just kind of floating around that we didn't know. It was later disproven just to be a galaxy and that the satellite was wrong because it was 1983. But people were, no, it was science by the government. You're wrong. There's also a time where in the Google Sky Map, there's a portion of the sky missing near the Orion constellation, and people thought that's where this planet was. So they all made a fuss, oh, you're hiding the planet, and then they said it was a technical error, put it back, and they shut up. Despite this claim being kind of shut down by NASA, there is actual proof that there is another planet out there, because we've seen Uranus and Neptune's orbit. It's got a bit of a weird little bump in it, so it implies that there's a planet out there that was pulling on them at one point to shift their gravity. While looking for this planet, they found Pluto and a bunch of other dwarf planets, and they came to the conclusion that's not the real problem behind this bump. So there could be another planet out there, but these dumbasses think there's aliens and that NASA's hiding it. The only times I don't believe in global warming are when I'm freezing my ass off in January. But, you know, it's real when it's summer and it's hot and muggy and I just want to boil and die. But there are some idiots year-round who don't believe it's real. Most of these non-believers think that humans didn't create the problem and it's just natural, or if they do think it's real, they think it's not that big of a deal. And they think, oh, I didn't start it, it's not my problem. Mommy, give me my oil, please. Unfortunately, there's a lot of public figures who think this way and spread information about the Earth not getting warmer and how it's getting cold. Oh, look, it's winter and I'm freezing. Global warming isn't real. A lot of oil companies say it's not real, even though they've been sued for saying that. There's also a lot of people who don't believe in dinosaurs. This, ironically enough, started with the Jurassic Park movies. When they came out, there was a big spike in people not believing in dinosaurs. They compared them to dragons and go, oh, they're like dragons, they're not real. They don't believe it because they think evolution's not real, so our chickens didn't come from dinosaurs, they just spawned in like it's a Minecraft world. You know the Earth is like 2,025 years old, right? Right? Yeah, I've never seen a dinosaur before, so they can't be real. It's right behind me, isn't it? Can you people have a little fun? Can you just believe it's something for once? Why do you always think everything's fake, okay? Go to a museum, bite the bones. Gnaw on the bones. I do that and I believe in them. I know they're real because I've chewed on their bones like a dog. One of the biggest mysteries on this earth is the ocean, because we've barely explored it. So we don't really know what's going on there. So a lot of creative people have come up with creative theories about what's going on in there. There's a lot of mysteries about what goes on around there. One of them is the Bermuda Triangle, section between Bermuda, the tip of Florida, and Puerto Rico. There's a lot of stories of planes and ships and other aircrafts disappearing in there and never being seen again. It's thought that there's like wormholes and aliens going around stealing this shit. A possible explanation for these weird occurrences is that it's where the lost city of Atlantis is, which is another theory or myth around the ocean. People think it's a paranormal response from the people who lived or are living in the city of Atlantis, and they're like, get off my property! And they shoot them down. Crazy enough, there's another triangle of weird phenomenons in the Western Pacific Ocean near Japan. They call it the Dragon's Triangle or the Devil's Sea. I know I talked about cryptids in the last episode, but I thought I'd find some more that are from the ocean, more ocean sea creatures. So they're fun to look at and really, really ugly. One of the first ones I found was the Arctic sea spider, and there's like this little alligator whale crossing called the Bobo. Bobo. Funny names. There's the looting fish, which is basically just a mermaid, but with arms, legs, and a head. It's just a big fish. Yeah, it looks pretty silly. There's also the skeleton. There's also the Man, I'm not doing this shit again! Overall, there's just a bunch of weird creatures in the sea and all over the place.